Hi, this is the first serious photography I've done since my car was stolen. That was on the 2nd of October, and now it's, well, towards the end of October. I'm not sure what the date is. I've come into mid Wales having another go at the ring ouzels. There's lots of Rowen trees with berries on them, attracts all sorts of thrushes, but the ring ouzel is the special one. And it's surprising how late into the winter this summer visiting bird stays here. And this is a very good place to photograph them. I got here at 7:30 this morning. It was still very dark. We haven't changed the clocks from British summertime yet, and the birds were feeding in the dark. You could see them, several ring ouzels on these rowan berries. At my default ISO of 1600, I started taking pictures once we reached a 60th of a second, and you don't need a fast shutter speed to photograph birds so long as they're static. But when they're eating the berries and they're moving, you won't get them sharp at a 60th. Even 2/50th of a second is a bit slow, and that's pushing the ISO to 6400. You will be constantly reading on the internet that Micro Four Third cameras are no good at high ISOs. My two OM-1 bodies don't seem to know this. The ring ouzels are here a lot, but you can't photograph them very often because the bushes just get in the way. They're behind the bush, they're in the middle of the bush, and there's only probably half a dozen places where there's an exposed branch coming out to the side, and you've just got to wait for a ring ouzel to come onto one of those branches. But they're coming in and going and backwards and forwards just about all the time. When the bird has got too many branches across it, you can't expect the bird detection system to be able to recognise that as the shape of a bird, so the bird's out of focus. I could go to the control panel and change the all focusing points down to a single focusing point, and then I could probably get that bird sharp, but I usually don't bother. I just wait for the bird to come out into the open. This is the male ring ouzel. It's blacker than the female, who's more of a grey colour, and that crest on the breast is more pronounced. In the female, it's actually quite faint. This is the female, much greyer, and that white crescent on the breast is sometimes hard to see. But actually it's a beautiful plumage. It is my favourite British thrush. We have the blackbird, the song thrush and the mistle thrush, and then in the winter fieldfares and redwings, but the summer visiting ring ouzel, definitely my favourite. A lot to do with the habitat they live in, the upland moorlands. All of the pictures are taken with the OM-1 camera with 150 to 400mm lens. I didn't put the 1.25 built-in extender on very often. I didn't need to, I was close. And once the light built up, I went back to my standard 1600 ISO. An immature song thrush. Fieldfare did come in once as well, but not to be photographed. The song thrush kept going down on the floor, so I would immediately try and follow it in the hope that it would try and pull up an earthworm, but it never did. And a rather scruffy blackbird. The shutter speed would be varying throughout the day now, but as long as I've got above a thousandth of a second, that should be enough to capture a sharp picture of a bird pulling on a berry. It's now 10:30 in the morning and it's too sunny. There's enough cloud up there. I don't think the sun's going to last, but I don't like it with the sun on it. Just doesn't look right, and I'm at a slightly wrong angle for the sun as well. When it's sunny, I really want the sun behind me, and it's sort of going across me slightly, and I can't move the car over there. Too many other cars here. With the sun shining, it becomes contrasty, and we get shadows from the branches across the bird as well. I much prefer diffused soft lighting. I only really want sunlight when I'm doing birds in flight. But the sun didn't last very long, and we went back to the softer lighting. All the pictures are taken from a beanbag resting on the car window. I've tried various devices, but I can't find anything better than a beanbag. At the moment, we've got 3 photographers' cars here lined up, and the car that's furthest away from me seems to be quite busy. There's some ring ouzels coming in over there. I don't know what the background is like or what angle they're at. They seem to be a bit distant, but they could move the car quite a lot closer if they wanted to. But they certainly seem to be in the busiest spot. I think this is the most photogenic spot, but not as busy as they're getting. Goldfinches were also interested in the berries, but they don't swallow them whole, they peck at them while they're still on the branches. Almost 11 o'clock, and now there's bird watchers here as well. And the difference between bird watchers and bird photographers is the bird watchers don't need to get so close. So they're not in the cars, they've got out the cars and they're walking about. So very unlikely the ring ouzels will come close now. It's not something I get excited about, just 2 different interest groups. But that one, I know him. There's a bird watcher there I know. He lives over here, I don't. I'll send him a rude message. After I sent that bird watcher a rude message, I thought I should go over and say hello, so I did. And I could see these other berries that the other photographers were photographing, and it looks good photographically. So I'm going to move over there, see what's happening. Whether any birds are still coming into it, I don't know. Just got to go and find out. And it definitely was the busier of the 2 spots. Not quite as good photographically because there's more of a background clutter to it. I like it like this, when there's nothing behind the berries. But it was well worth moving the car over. I got some different pictures. Thanks for watching.